Welcome back, everyone, to Pontus Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 3, Episode 7 of War of the Ring, and we are playing with the Warriors of Middle-earth expansion. And we also have the Lords of Middle-earth on the table, and we are in round number 7. So, very exciting round number 6 before. We saw a massive loss from one of the event cards, able to remove all of the enemy forces that are inside a region that are from the enemy, all of their forces. So we basically destroyed the whole force of Isengard in one shot with one card. So we're going to get into round number 7. We're going to collect our dice, and we've added the Galadriel die, which should help our players, as the shadow player has got quite a few dice on the table. I'd like to get maybe Gandalf to emerge from the Fellowship as Gandalf the White and maybe seek out the Ents. And let's get into round number 7. I've got the... so we'll grab our cards first. And I'm just going to check the card count here. 1, 2, 3. We've got 6 and we've got 5 here. So we've got to reduce one of these. So I'm going to move out one of these Servants of Sauron cards that we've seen before. Throw that back in. So now we're down to 4. Let's go over to our Free Folk cards, and then we'll roll our dice and we'll jump into round 7. So we've got, we prove the swifter swords in Eriador and the Ents awaken. This is cool. So let's put these here. Let's also check the counts on these. We've got 5. We've got 5 cards. So I'm going to remove the Wraiths of Fear. I don't think we're going to get to our ghost guys anytime soon, so we can get those back. But here's our ghost characters, the dead men. And we've got a painting video for these guys if you want to go check that out. I don't think that we've showcased everyone. We've got the spiders, the dead men. I think we have the Ents. I think we've shown everyone. Oh, we didn't show the Corsairs yet. These are the Corsairs of Umber. We'll show them next turn. That's fine. I'll save something for the next turn. Okay, so let's roll our dice and get into the next round. Okay. So first off, we're going to throw some eyes in the Hunt for the Ring box. And we're going to start out with our shadow player. Let's have him play a card. They have Shelob in the spiders. Let's see what's going on with that. Evil things. Move all spiders to region and then discard one spider figure in the region with the Fellowship to draw a hunt tile. So they're going to move this into the region here, and then we'll discard that spider to draw a hunt tile. So let's go ahead and also move these guys here. Otherwise, follow the rules for a successful hunt. Okay, we're going to follow the rules for a successful hunt. So we get to discard this Shelob figure, and we get to pick from the hunt bag, and we get a 1. So our corruption goes up another point on this one, so that's not good. Very effective for them. Let's also play a card for our Free Folk. So let's move our let's move Gondor one step closer to war. They are not quite activated in war. So let's get them down there to activate. And that's going to discard this card. Okay. Go back to our shadow player. Shadow player is going to play a muster action. Actually, they'll play an army action, and they're going to, let's have them invade Osligath with this force here. So we're going to do a combat now. So we'll attack. Let me just double check here. Attack an enemy army. So we'll go ahead and count up our forces, see what's on the table here. We can play some combat cards if we want. So for attacking the army, let me just double check on this rules. We haven't attacked. This is our first battle of the game. So let's look at. Oh, because they're not at war, I don't think we can attack them. Right? Right. I don't believe we can attack them. They're not at war yet. So we're just amassing this force. So instead of that, we'll just use that muster card to move this army to North Ilithium. And we'll leave behind a Nazgul here in the spot. Okay. And that will do it for the army. For our free folk, let's move the fellowship again. We can move that into here, and we can roll 2 dice to see what we get. Fellowship is revealed to be here. Right, 1. So the fellowship is revealed to be here. We get to the hunt bag again, and we pull out 3 corruption for the fellowship. So they're up to 4, 5, 6 corruption. So this is weighing heavy on our fellowship. Gonna have to break, maybe have to break Gandalf out of there and get some help from those Ents right next door, which I think is exactly what I'm going to do. So let's have the fellowship player play a card again. Let's see what their cards that they have are. No. Let's see in these. If the Witch King is in play in the Shadowing Beast, so no, we cannot play that one. Let's see. Play if the fellowship is revealed. Add 2 corruption points to the fellowship. This is not good. So we're playing this 8 points of corruption for the fellowship. It's not looking good. So let's use this this Will of the People to reveal Gandalf the Grey. We will have Gandalf break from the fellowship, and he will come out as Gandalf the White. So Gandalf the White is now gone. We will switch to Strider, is the leader of the party, heir to Isildur, and we've got Gandalf is going to be replaced now by Gandalf the White. Gandalf the White, emissary from the west. He is in play. It says if Gandalf the White has been eliminated or left the fellowship, you may use 1 Will of the West to play Gandalf the White. If Gandalf the Grey is in play, replace him with Gandalf the White in Fangorn. So he's in Fangorn Forest, and we can activate the Ents as well. So this will be helpful. So we'll leave him on the board. Let's go ahead and get those Ents activated. If Saruman is in play and a companion or is in Fangorn, I can activate the Ents. So the Ents are in the same region. They can be a defending army. So we can move these Ents forward to attack these forces here, I believe. So let's do that. We can definitely have an attack against the Dol Guldur army as well. We do have to so we can't have that battle yet but our elves are at war. So let's go ahead and have a leader move with his army next round. Okay, so for our this goes down here. For our dark forces, we are able to move. Let's move this Witch King here. He'll fly to there. He moves as a as a Nazgul, and we'll have our leadership move from the Ents from Fangorn into North Celebrant. So we're going to have basically Ents, elves against the enemies in the next round, and we can probably play a card if we play our cards right. Let's go ahead and muster. We will muster some forces. Let's move. This is an army muster, so let's move these forward. And again, we'll leave the Nazgul behind and minus Morgul. So we have a huge army on the Osligarth, and we need to activate our last card. But let's grab one more card from the deck from our final die, and we get Father of the Trees. Move all Ents back to Fangorn and recruit one Ent there. If you do so, whenever an Ent faction card, you may use Entwood or Tangle in Entwood. Okay, so we've got our Ents activated. Let's just double check these cards. Do we have another Ent card? The Ents awaken. Recruit one Ent into Entwood. Okay, that'll be next round. I can do that. Okay, so next up is our Shadow player. What is this dice about? So this die comes from the Warriors of Middle-earth. Let's check it out. Shadow player faction gets to see this die. Is a wild die. Choose either recruit faction, play faction, or draw faction event. Okay, so I'm going to get a play faction event. Let's try a play faction event. Let's see if we got one that we can use. Attack a free people, including Ronan or Arnie. So let's go ahead and we'll do this attack here. Why not? So we can move this attack in. It's okay. They're at war now. So we moved them into this region. This means Gondor is now activated and at war. And let's have the attack on them. So we'll do our first attack. Forces from minus Morgul. We also have in there, we have Gothmog. What does that give us? Gothmog. If Gothmog is a shadow army, is a free region, means muster action to recruit one regular minion. Okay, that's fine. What else is on the board? When Sauron's on the tour, if a companion of the fellowship is taking a casualty, no. Gandalf the White, Shadowfax, the White Rider, Balrog, Saruman. Okay, that's just a recruiting action. Let's go ahead and do a combat. So, resolving a battle. Play a combat card, optional. Roll the dice for the combat roll. So let's see if we have any good combat cards to play. So we've got in here Great Host. Deadly Strike. Both armies add 2 to the dice on the combat roll and leader reroll. Okay, let's do that one. So they'll play this one. Deadly Strife. And our defenders can play. Let's have them play. Defending army. Subtract 1 from the dice of the shadow player. Advantageous positioning. Okay, so we'll do that. We also, okay, so they will get attacked there. Let's have that, that's just with the 3, because they're not actually in minus Tirith here. So those 3, let's see. The number of army units, regular and elite units, is the combat roll. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 dice for the shadow versus 1, 2 versus 2 dice. Okay, we get that, and we get these. So resolving the casualties. Let's go here. So they get a hit for... So we can -1 from one of their dice to the 5. So actually, no casualties from this battle, because they get to subtract 1 from all the die roll. So that's helpful for our first attack, but they are still under attack here. And they will, the Fellowship players out of move, so they will use another army attack to play again. So they'll roll again, and these cards come off now. This battle is over. So this is a new battle. We've got a 6 and a 6. Again, no casualty on this one. And then they will use another army to roll one more attack. Oh, this time 6-5 blocks this, so we get 2 casualties. We lose 2 of our units. And we just have a leader. I think when the leader is left, resolving combat. Remove casualties. Elimination of leaders. If all the army units are eliminated, then all leaders, including characters, are removed from play. So this leader is just removed from play. And we've got our first major advancement into the Osgiliagarth by the Shadow player. And then finally they have, they can move some more forces in. Let's have them move these forces in. And actually, is that a muster? That's a muster. Can they activate their Corsairs? Yeah, so we're going to bring the Corsairs into play. So they've got Corsairs into play here. Here's our Corsairs. I'll show you the figures. Pretty cool. They've got these cross sails. So the Corsairs are also into play now. They can move up to this position. Okay, so that is going to do it for the turn. We'll see you in the next round. Thank you guys for watching. We'll clean up the board and get ready for the next round. Take care. Bye-bye.